You think the most terrifying nightmares only exist in movies? Think again. There are ancient texts, deliberately buried, containing entities that even angels wish to forget. The Book of Enoch, a name whispered about a universe where the lines between good and evil are torn asunder, and the guardians of heaven themselves become the source of earthly hell. Today, we will decode the 13 most horrifying creatures from this forbidden book. Believe me, number 1 will forever change the way you see darkness and light. Are you brave enough to face it? Join me as we unseal these forbidden pages, and don't forget to subscribe to unveil even more terrifying secrets. Have you ever heard of the Book of Enoch? Comment your initial thoughts below. Our journey into the abyss of the Book of Enoch begins not with hideous monsters from hell, but with the very beings once considered light, the Guardians. At number 13, we have the corrupting teachers, the corrupting watchers. These are not the vague fallen angels you often hear about. The Book of Enoch names them, especially leaders like Azazel. Imagine entities who once stood near the throne of the Most High, now, with eyes no longer reflecting holiness but a morbid curiosity, they look down upon a young humanity. Azazel, a name that sows terror. He didn't just teach mankind how to forge swords and shields, the tools of war and slaughter. No, his corruption was more insidious. He taught women the art of makeup, the use of cosmetics, things seemingly harmless but which incited lust, deception, and empty pride. This knowledge, ladies and gentlemen, was not free. The price was the innocence of a generation, the seeds of chaos sown into the soil of the human soul. This blatant betrayal was the beginning of all the nightmares that followed. Azazel was just one of them, a small spark signaling a cosmic conflagration. And from the forbidden union of the Watchers and human women, a new race, a mistake of creation, was born. At number 12, the Ravenous hybrids, the Ravenous Nephilim. Don't picture them as demigods like Hercules in Greek mythology. The Book of Enoch describes them as true giants, up to 3,000 cubits tall, a figure that makes one shudder, far beyond any imagination. They grew unnaturally fast, and their hunger was equally unnatural. Initially, they devoured all of Earth's resources, plants, crops, then animals. But when the Earth could no longer sustain those bottomless stomachs, they began to look at their own creators, at mankind, as a meal. The disruption of natural order reached its peak. Mankind, from being creation's favored children, suddenly became prey in their own home. The Nephilim's initial cries for food now turned into roars that tore through the night, heralding an era of blood, tears, and despair. Can you imagine the horror when those you once trusted, entities who once brought light, were now the parents of the monsters hunting you? But the horror didn't stop there, not even when the bodies of these giants were destroyed. Because at number 11, we face the ghosts of the Nephilim, the restless ghosts. Death was not an escape for these hybrid creatures. Their souls, cursed by their sinful origin, could not ascend, could not find peace. Instead, they roamed the earth, becoming invisible but powerful evil spirits, unfortunate souls sowing disease, madness, and incessant temptation upon humanity. You cannot kill what was never truly alive according to natural law. Their bodies might decay, but their hunger, their wrath, their bitterness remained, lurking in every gust of wind, whispering into the ears of the weak-willed, those drowning in despair. This, according to the Book of Enoch, is the origin of countless demonic entities, the haunting demons that later legends tried to describe, the persistence of evil, an invisible yet present force, an eternal scar on the world's soul. These ghosts are the echo of an indelible crime, a reminder that the consequences of a fall can outlast life and death. But if the fallen created these nightmares, how terrible would the punishment for them be? And who, or what, would execute that justice? The abyss awaits the betrayers, and at number 10, we meet those who execute that cold justice. The jailers of the underworld, angels of punishment. Do not be mistaken that all angels are merciful, bringing comfort. The Book of Enoch reveals a more terrifying truth. There is an entire legion of angels tasked with guarding and tormenting the fallen watchers in dark abysses, where eternal fire burns. Imagine these entities with emotionless faces, without a shred of pity, only duty. And their duty is to ensure the suffering of the betrayers is absolute, unimaginable, lasting for eternity. They are the personification of divine wrath, the jailers of a hell described in such gruesome detail in the Book of Enoch, where screams never cease, where hope died long ago. This contrast between the good angel image we often hold and this brutal jailer role, does it make you question the true nature of cosmic justice? Next, at number 9, one of the leaders of the fall, Azazel, faces his fate, the one bound in the desolate desert. Azazel bound. His punishment was not just death, but eternal imprisonment, a horrific exile. The Book of Enoch describes him being bound hand and foot, thrown into a dark place, jagged with sharp rocks in a desert called Dudael, and large stones piled upon him. He was buried alive, awaiting the final judgment. Imagine the suppressed rage, the helplessness of a once powerful entity, now just a prisoner of darkness and cold stone. It is said that even while bound, his dark influence, his hatred, still seeps out into the world like a festering curse. Azazel bound is a testament that even the mightiest can be subdued, but their hatred, their sin, will endure forever, like an unpardonable stain. But it's not just the fallen and their punishers. The Book of Enoch also describes primordial entities, titans from the dawn of creation, whose very existence is enough to sow terror. At number 8, the sea beast Leviathan, Enoch's primordial terror of the deep. This is not the gentle giant whale of storybooks. The Book of Enoch describes Leviathan as a female entity, a primordial sea monster created on the 5th day of creation, reigning in the abyss of the ocean. It is not just a creature, it is a force, a part of the ancient cosmic order, a secret whispered by the waves but dared not listened to by any. Its power is immeasurable, and it is kept for a terrible purpose on the day of doom. Imagine a colossal ancient eye, opening from the darkness of the deep sea abyss, seeing through all the ocean's secrets and awaiting its moment. And as a counterpart to Leviathan, at number 7, is the land beast Behemoth, Enoch's unstoppable land titan. Also created on the 5th day, Behemoth is a male entity, reigning in an invisible desert called Dudael, east of the Garden of Eden. If Leviathan is the bottomless abyss, then Behemoth is the unshakable mountain, with crushing power, a symbol of destruction and judgment on land. The Book of Enoch even reveals a strange detail. The flesh of these two colossal monsters will be food for the righteous after the final battle. These two titans, Leviathan and Behemoth, are two sides of the same coin of destruction, awaiting the moment of their release, either to confront each other or to collectively serve a purpose beyond our understanding. What do you think will happen when these two titans are unleashed. Let me know your thoughts. But the parade of nightmares is not over, because from the remnants of the Nephilim, a new threat, an army of darkness, has been formed. And that threat materializes at number 6. The demonic hosts. These are no longer aimless wandering spirits, no longer solitary ghosts. The Book of Enoch suggests something far more sinister. The unfortunate souls of the Nephilim, with their unquenched rage and despair, have gathered, forming organized demonic armies. Imagine a whirlwind of black shadows, within which thousands of red eyes glint, ghoulish laughter echoes, and a singular purpose: to sow calamity, to possess the weak, and to lead humanity astray into destruction. This is an invisible invasion, an army of despair and hatred, fighting an endless war for the souls of mankind. They are the living legacy of the Nephilim, a reminder that the sins of the past can birth organized nightmares for the future. Do you feel that these descriptions seem familiar? Could it be that the stories of demonic possession, of evil forces we hear about, all have their origins in ancient records like these? As we delve deeper into the nether realms described in the Book of Enoch, we encounter the guardians of the entrances. At number 5, the gatekeepers of Sheol underworld, the grotesque gatekeepers of Sheol. Hell is not a place easily entered or exited. Each of its gates, according to the Book of Enoch, has its own guardian, and they are no ordinary jailers. Their forms are bizarre, distorted, reflecting the very nature of the place they guard, reflecting the sins they imprison. They might be creatures with multiple eyes, multiple limbs, of no distinct shape, grotesque forms made of pain and despair. They are the gatekeepers of nightmare, with strange weapons and an encompassing, deathly cold atmosphere, ensuring that no sinful soul can escape its judgment. Is there any escape from such places? Or is this the final destination for those who have lost their way? But the horror is not limited to corporeal entities. The Book of Enoch goes further, personifying natural disasters themselves. At number 4, the personifications of destructive natural phenomena. Personified destructive phenomena. Imagine a storm that is not just wind and rain, but a conscious entity with fiery eyes and a roar containing judgment. Imagine an earthquake that is not just the shaking of the earth, but the wrath of an imprisoned titan. The Book of Enoch posits that natural disasters are not random. They are controlled by specific angels or entities capable of carrying God's wrath for punishment or chaos caused by dark forces to disrupt order. When the sky roars in fury or the earth trembles beneath your feet, the Book of Enoch suggests it might not be random. It might be them, the entities of destruction, carrying out an invisible command. Does this change how you perceive the power of nature? And if nature is conscious, is it trying to tell us something? We are at the threshold of the most terrifying creations. Number 3 takes us to the night sky, but not to admire the stars. These are the fiery serpents of the firmament, the fiery dragons of the sky. The Book of Enoch describes flying, fiery entities like giant serpents or dragons, not holy seraphim, but symbols of cosmic chaos or messengers of destruction. They are the guardians of the stars, the patrol ships of the celestial realm, ensuring cosmic order, but their presence is powerful and fearsome. If you see them, it might be an ill omen, a reminder that the universe is vast and full of wonders, as well as horrors we have never known. If the night sky hides such creatures, would you still dare to look at the stars as before? And now, we come to something even more abstract, yet infinitely more terrifying. At number 2, the living torments. The living torments. Forget the usual fires and chains. The Book of Enoch describes hell not just as a place, but as a state, where punishment itself becomes living entities. Imagine your despair taking form, your regret having a voice, your pain having consciousness, and they never leave you, clinging to your soul, tormenting you from within. This is no longer an external monster, but the demon inside you magnified infinitely. A hell created from your own sins, where torture is not just physical, but mental, eternal, and inescapable. The horrific creativity in envisioning this suffering truly makes one shudder. Finally, at number 1, the creature promised from the beginning, the one that will change how you perceive darkness and light. The ultimate fallen one, the source of all deception. Samjaza, the first to betray the light. Not Azazel, though his sins were immense, but Samjaza himself, according to the Book of Enoch, was the first among the Watchers to take an oath, and to entice, even compel, others to fall with him. He is not just a traitor. He is the source of organized temptation, the one who actively planned the downfall of divine order. Before there was hell as we know it, before demons roamed, there was a decision, an oath, a leader. Samjaza, who saw the beauty of humans and twisted it into an excuse for cosmic betrayal. He was not tempted. He was the first tempter, the first darkness to fall upon creation. He didn't just open the door to sin, he built it. And his horrifying legacy is everything we have just explored. From the corrupting teachers, the ravenous giants, the unfortunate souls, to the cruel jailers, the primordial titans, and finally, the first to sow betrayal, the Book of Enoch paints a cosmic canvas filled with terrifying entities, the consequences of depravity, and unimaginable punishments. It's not just ancient tales for entertainment, but a profound warning about the fragile nature of order, the price of choice, and the forces beyond our comprehension. Forces that perhaps we are still facing in different forms to this day. These creatures, however horrifying, also reflect humanity's deepest fears and eternal questions about good, evil. If these discoveries from the Book of Enoch have truly opened up a new perspective for you, a chillingly haunting yet undeniably fascinating one, don't hesitate to like and share this video, and subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell, because our journey exploring forgotten truths, forbidden texts, and ancient mysteries is far from over. Which of these 13 creatures haunts you the most? And would you like us to continue unearthing other forgotten texts? Let us know in the comments below. I'm very interested to hear your opinions. Until next time, be careful what you read, especially the sealed books.